All right. Welcome back to the Rough Rigs podcast.
Yeah, looks a bit of a different lineup.
I think both Mitch and Will have got wonderful tans, as we are Mitch and Will. Wouldn't say so, but it's a bit of a different day for today. Would you like to explain what the difference is?
Well, I mean, the difference is a bit of substitutions. First, we're slowly introducing more brown flavour, and last week it was just me, and now we brought Ravi as well. We're both friends of the show.
Absolutely, we've both been here before.
Yeah, but just not together.
Yeah, I think the HR and PR team spoke to the Rough Rigs crew and said we needed a bit more diversity. So got to hit that quota.
Is it a token if it's just 100% anymore? It's not.
I don't know. maybe we're gonna bring them back for extra diversity. But yeah, let's get cracking. How about we start off? How was your weekend?
Well, it's a bit of a different weekend, I guess, without a full proper cricket matches to play for me, which is always I feel like shows of my life sort of revolves around cricket. So we talked about it last week in the show. Our Saturday season is done in terms of the 2020. I played by myself a friendly match of Last Man Stands 2020, just whilst the proper matches were banned because of the rain, which was a good hit out, except that they put the boundaries 20 meters, literally 20, 25 meters away.
Stat padding.
Done by one of the batsmen for one of the team, naturally.
Yeah.
So I bowled 4 overs, went 1 for 55.
Oh, no.
And look, I'm happy with the way I bowled, to be honest. Most of it, sixes, were literally top edge sweep shots. One top edge cut shot which went for 6, which tells you enough.
Oh my god! Were a lot of these runs would have been hold down the deep?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would have taken away a few wickets down there. I mean, you can't defend it because you just take a bit of a swing and people hit sixes. But anyway, it was good sort of practice in terms of it'll feel better now. It's like when you say if you're batting and you pick up a heavy bat and then you suddenly have a lighter bat. It feels like
yeah,
the same sort of.
Yeah, I can imagine that as long as you're getting used to it.
But yeah, so that was that. Then bit of squash, bit of tennis, and a bit of everything, and some great footy that we will talk about soon.
Yes, it was a stellar weekend, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I managed to pay attention to a lot of the matches. A couple of the matches I missed, but it was really good. My weekend was a bit more boring since my season was already over. Felt a bit lost for a bit.
Yeah.
But the footy kept me entertained, and honestly, that was it.
we're heading to the business end of the season for all codes.
Absolutely.
So it's a lot happening and will be happening, except no AFL this weekend. Which is a bit of a hit for me. So if it forces me to watch more NRL.
Anything to get the views up. Yeah. Should we get started on the footy?
Yeah. So usually right now we would have the drink of the week actually, but so I've got a drink in the fridge. So from a mate. We'll let it cool down a bit.
Sounds good.
Because it's a beer. You don't want to drink hot beers.
Yeah, I think it's going to be better cool anyway.
We might go with the drink of the week at the end.
Absolutely.
Which is maybe, let's call it the brown flavour of the show. A bit of a change up. But yeah, so yeah, let's get to the footy then.
Absolutely.
So we just go for the rounds of the NRL. Friday was incredible.
It was. It absolutely was. Should we, just before we get to that blockbuster of a game, should we start with the Thursday?
Oh, yeah, true, actually.
Yeah.
So everything that happened.
The Rabbitohs and the Dragons.
Oh, yeah. I can see why I forgot about
40,
that.
Yeah. Look, I would have forgotten about it too as well. 40-0. The Rabbitohs way. Insane work. What do you think? Before I give my 2 cents on it, how do you feel about it?
I think, the odds before the game was a 50-50. But then I think when you have these two sort of teams with not much to play for, when things can blow out just in terms of motivation, Dragons have really put some good weeks together, and maybe a bit deflated after last week's unlucky loss to the Warriors. It's all a bit coming to the end of the season. It also showed to me how good the Rabbitohs can be with a full squad.
Yeah.
And that's not even their full squad.
It's really interesting because the Rabbitohs have always been quite hit and miss.
Yeah.
And we know that injury has played this season, but this definitely was one of the matches where, as you said, you're thinking about it, you're like, they could have been contending, they could have really been up there.
Yeah.
At least it's hard to prove a point when you're sitting so low on the ladder, but maybe that was a statement to be made. And unfortunately for the Dragons, as you said, deflated, not much to play for. But this was being held pointless, not even trialless, pointless. I think that's a pretty rough go for the Dragons.
Yeah, bad conditions. That was like when Sydney was having this crazy monsoonal rain. And my under just made it.
Did it so?
It's 41.5 or something.
Oh, there we go. Gambling the odds.
Yeah, and thankfully I took it when I did because I think it went to 39.5 on the day, and I would have copped a terribly bad beat because the Rabbitohs scored, I think, 2 tries in the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, in the end of the day, match doesn't really mean much. Probably means more for the Rabbitohs in terms of building for next year.
Yep.
What's happened with the Rabbitohs is sort of, I guess what happened with Brandon Smith has sort of overshadowed everything that happened on Thursday. I guess you could talk about that now, really.
Should we?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The block of cheese.
After the cheese.
Has as much brain cells as a block of cheese. It's just something, if you listen to him, it's a bit harsh, but if you listen to him speak, he's not probably the sharpest tool in the shed. And
good footy minds, but that's kind of where it ends, I guess you could say.
And so basically, if you haven't heard, this has been sort of bubbling under the surface. So he had police come to him in the Gold Coast. It was a bit of a story, like why his police wanted to talk to him, and they didn't really say why they wanted to talk to him, and they just said it was a matter. And it blew over, and now it turns out that he is getting some charges for drug supply. Apparently he supplied these Roosters teammates with.
Yeah, who was it? There was one name they
Radley.
Yeah, that's it, Radley. That was the one that they picked out.
So apparently supplied them. So, but I think probably the more, obviously I'm not trying to minimize drug supply, but probably the more potential longer suspension-worthy thing was the betting aspect.
Yeah.
Where he was alleged to have given... the article was written in a way that almost implied that, firstly, it almost implied match fixing, and then it's sort of come down since then. I think the latest that I'm hearing is that he told one of these drug dealers or something that he was going to be playing out of position, or he's going to be in the starting side or something like that. Just whether people are going to bet on him for probably first try scorer, those kind of things, which is a lot less severe than it was previously sounding.
Yeah, I'd say
it's still not right, but
in the footy, don't get me wrong, it's still a team game, but I guess you could say dabbling into that sort of territory, there's only individual, I guess you could say, bets which kind of affect it. I know other sports which might harm it more greatly. Cricket per se, where the performance of an individual actually far more significantly impacts a team. I guess you could say, but still, it's a problem. We'll find out hopefully more in detail what's the go, how much trouble is in. But not looking good for the cheese right now.
Yeah, and it's a big. He's on 700,000 at Rabbitohs. He was showing some decent form in the last few weeks, actually, as a potential good piece to their sort of rebuild. So we'll see how that goes. It doesn't sound as, I don't know if you remember the Tim Simona saga. That was proper at times bad. It could have been he could have almost got, I feel charged for it.
Yeah.
Because he was himself betting.
Yep.
Even one point he was betting on opposition centers and wingers to score first try scorer or score a try. He was on the opposite side of the field, and they sort of said, "Oh, he didn't do anything suspicious." But it's that was a very.
It's when because you can involve and sort of adjust that play to make things happen. Yeah. So that one is a lot more dicey.
So everything is sort of, and also the way betting companies sort of run the financial aspect of the NRL,
quietly so,
and anything that goes against their money-making abilities is looked down upon. Even they are the ones who want to get the leak.
Yeah, first. Absolutely.
Otherwise, and they do know things, because otherwise, how can you explain the Bulldogs odds going from $2.20 to $1.40?
Yeah, before the teams
list for the Panthers. And we'll get to that as well. But I think there has to be, I guess, looked into this whether players are giving out information, but also you have to look at the betting companies themselves or what kind of information they're getting.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that was probably the biggest non-match story of the week.
Should we get to
But then we get to the other games.
the Friday? Now, before we do start, I want to ask you something. Has this been one of the best Friday nights of footy you've watched in a long time?
Yeah. Yeah. It was two absolutely cracking games. I feel like on Friday I was also flipping through the AFL as well.
Yes.
Which thankfully Will's not here because he would have not.
He would have shut that shit down.
Yeah.
But we're overhauling the show for a little bit. Sorry, Will.
Because on Friday there was also a cracking game between Collingwood and Melbourne.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, but clearly the best games of footy that round was Panthers and Canberra.
Oh man, that was a match.
Incredible finish. So I was out. That was the night I was out with mates. Played a bit of squash. We were getting dinner, and as I was watching the last bit, I saw the chat we have with Mitch going up.
Yep.
I had to mute that chat.
So did you come back and watch it after?
No, I was only 2 minutes behind.
Oh, okay. I see.
1 minute behind, and then I saw.
Yep.
I think you messaged in the chat crazy or something.
Yeah.
And then I saw the kick from Cleary, and I thought, okay, that must mean he's scored the field goal. And then it hit the post, okay. And then everything happened. I was like, wow.
It was nuts. Sorry to just jump in there, but I have a bit of a soft spot for the Raiders. I'm a Chooks fan, if I haven't ever revealed that. Long-time Chooks fan, but my family goes for the Raiders, so I've been exposed to a lot of matches in the lifetime, both the shit and the good matches, primarily shit. But I've been watching them a lot this year, and it's been really fun to see them play. They really play, I'd say, the way I've observed it, hard but cruisy in the first 60, and then give it, or in the first, let's just say, 30 of each half, and then the last 10, they just absolutely give it everything they have. That last 10-minute surge, and it's been so fun to watch because they love being under pressure, as we've learned from
It's
playing against
changed.
the Panthers.
They used to be called the faders, right? They used to fade off in the second half.
It's the complete opposite.
Ricky's really changed. I mean, I think partly because of his passion for Canberra, because having being
played there.
Yeah, he's been a brilliant coach for them. He's got the young guys believing, and that was a game where even though they lost, it shows that they're really here to play with the big boys, and
absolutely,
they're a real force to be reckoned with.
It was
ultimately, I think the 2 points themselves, they didn't really need them. But the performance showed it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The one thing where, even though we knew they were going to be either first or second on the ladder, it was always a question of, you got these big boy teams, the Storm, Panthers coming up the rise, even the Doggies to an extent. Yeah. It's how would they perform against them? That was always a big question for the Raiders, and pretty fucking well, if that's the answer. I have to say, watching it, it did feel a little bit more amateur at Mudgee, but I really loved it. I love the fact that it wasn't your typical, stadium atmosphere. You got to hear the open air of the crowd, which I thought was really lovely.
It's a good throwback. Really,
it really was. So I'm sure Mudgee, the residents of Mudgee are happy that they got one of the games of their lives.
They need to take more games to the country. I think I'm more of a fan of that kind of. Bring the games to people who love league, rather than some of this. Is Perth ever going to be that much of a heartland? Probably not.
Yeah.
I'd rather see more country games than those kind of Perth or even. I think did they bring into? Did they do any NT games? No, I don't think they.
I don't think they did.
But rather than those, than Perth, you can switch some of those to I think the country in New South Wales, or even. Instead of it, I think they have a few games in Gosford every year. Yeah. Maybe even one of them could go there.
Give some love. We got a lot of players coming from rural.
Yeah.
I think we have to give the love back. I just want to quickly give some flowers in that match. Firstly, actually just before the flowers, unfortunate for the Raiders, they have lost Savage. He is out for the season. Due to I believe it's a shoulder injury. So very, very unfortunate. He got knocked down early. he was leading. If I remember, he was leading in with his shoulder and hurt himself. But then he was actually a liability for the last 5 minutes. Actually cost them a try.
Okay.
And
then it came out after that he was.
Yeah. And then Seongi subbed in for him. Big boy. I think filled in very well. So it's nice to know that even with key players that have to sit out for the Raiders, their interchange can step up. Really, really good to see. And Ethan Strange. What a man. I have never seen a number 6 that loves to run this hard.
He just went for it. He just put the foot down and go.
It was. Look, don't get me wrong. I know the recency bias. You think about just that last try, running off the, off the post, getting it from Jed to him, and that was fantastic. That was brilliant in its own right. But watching him week by week, I've never seen someone so keen to run. Normally when you see, little fellas, they're quick to pass it away. They don't want to get hammered by a massive, massive back row or front row. And it was good to see. He's not afraid to run, and he hits those lines hard. Only thing I will criticize him, I think his haircut is absolutely shocking. I'm all for a burst fade. I think it's great, but looks a bit too odd on him.
Yeah, it doesn't work for him, right? But I mean, doesn't need to.
Yeah, I was going to say, in saying that, if it gives him powers, he can have whatever the hell he wants. Anything you want to comment on the Panthers side?
Well, I mean, again, I think both teams take out of it that they are going to be there. Possibly that could even be a grand final match.
Yeah.
So, like I was saying with the Raiders, they got them, but they didn't need the 2 points.
Yep.
Panthers could have done with the 2 points.
Yeah, to sneak into the 4. Now they've actually dropped to 7th. So the Broncos and the Sharks, I believe, are on top of them.
But I get the feeling the Panthers don't really care. They can win the premiership from anywhere. They're resting everyone this week.
Yeah, I mean, they'll find the form.
Yeah, they can win it from anywhere. They know they can win it from anywhere. You don't want to be playing them in the finals.
Oh, absolutely.
So for me, Panthers are my favorite.
You think so?
A lot of people would say Storm, which we'll get to. But I think in the big games, they will stand up and play. And they did. And barring 2 centimeters of the post, they would have won this match as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, Panthers have always been big game players. We've seen that, time after time, and they keep proving it. They keep showing up. When we were so unsure, we finally ripped them off, and as soon as we ripped them off, they've come out of nowhere to charge into a very, very good position, I'd say.
I mean, and back in a couple of last season and seasons before, Panthers would usually though finish this game off and cleanly put teams away. They haven't done that in the last few weeks. There have been a few 3 golden points in the last 4.
There are little cracks starting to show. Hairline fractures, if you want to call it that. But it is
3 golden points in the last 4 is pretty crazy.
Yeah,
I think I was heard on radio or something. I think it was just only a couple of teams that have had that amount of golden points in 4 games. I think it was the Warriors a few years ago. Which maybe that points to why they're resting people this week because they've had such a heavy load.
Maybe so, yeah. I mean, that would make sense. Anything you want to add, or should we move on to the next blockbuster match?
The next one was, Storm Bulldogs.
Storm and Doggies.
Game.
Yeah.
Another one of those tough, hard-fought, lower-scoring games with a real finals atmosphere.
It really did.
Yeah. I mean, Dogs had their chances at times.
Had their chances. I still think this match was close, and the scoreline did represent it. But the Storm seemed to just have a bit of an edge on them.
Always reasonably comfortable.
Yeah. Obviously, you still want both teams to scrap it out, but it just seemed like the Storm were a little bit ahead, but. It wasn't enough where you could write the Doggies off. You think that it was there were times where it was all right, maybe they're onto something here. But Storm got it done. Simbin by Harry Grant, if I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, and then it was the talking point of the Crichton grounded ball at the end. There's a bit of commotion at the time, but I basically didn't regain possession. You can't regain the possession on the ground.
Yeah.
He basically, if you didn't watch it, he went in for a grubber and touched his fingers, and then as the ball was coming to the ground, he placed it down. So technically he has control, but he hasn't regained proper possession.
Yeah.
given a knock on. It would have been the tying.
Yeah, it would have. Oh, well,
assuming
they get converted.
which is right in front. I think
Yeah.
it would have been. But yeah. So in the end, the scoreline was close, but other than that moment, which still were reasonably comfortable.
They look good. I mean, both teams still look good, regardless. I'm excited to see how they fare in the finals. Yeah, we'll see where it goes from there.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the Saturday?
Yeah. So we've got Manly thumping the Dolphins.
This was a weird fucking match. I'll tell you that.
I didn't watch a lot of this one.
It was. I saw snippets of it. The Saturday was, I'd say, the day I was the least invested in terms of the footy. But it was it's so weird seeing the Sea Eagles. They look so good at times, but then so fucking rubbish at other times. Honestly, one of the most hot and cold teams I know.
Yeah.
Dolphins still managed to make. I think it was 30. Was it 58-30?
Yeah. It seems like, I feel like this game, because it was before the Roosters game, both teams sort of had some fun and didn't think they were like a chance at the finals.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this game probably would have meant more if people knew what was going to happen after it.
Yeah.
So it seemed like a bit of a throw the ball around. Dolphins like, we're not going to make the finals anyway.
Yep.
And Seagulls got it done, showing the potential that they really should have. They should be a top 6 team.
I mean, on the day, look,
with the talent they have in the team.
Yes, absolutely. All in all, big win by the Sea Eagles.
Yeah.
Dolphins still somehow making points out of it.
Yeah.
Or, well, I should say, aggregate.
Yeah, and they're not dead either now because of what happened in the night.
Should we address that? For Will, shout out to you.
Yeah, good
the
on you.
mighty Eels.
Yeah. But like, not even beat, they smashed them.
30-10. It was 30-10, right?
30-10, and one of those tries was like really crazy fluky kind of try with Mark. I can't say it right. No.
Mark.
No one gonna easy. Mark. Yeah.
Eels have always been a tricky subject.
Yeah, tricky team to tip. Especially when Moses has come back, they've been pretty good. They've been playing at almost a finals level.
They do. They I don't know if it's I wouldn't say it's a championship level, but they look good. You know, they don't look like they're supposed to be sitting near the bottom of the ladder. I have had my amusement when they do have their humiliating losses, just updating on the chat saying Para fucking suck each time, but I had to eat my words this time. It look, in saying that, it's nice to see a team that's trying something and they pull off something. For my Chooks, fucking disappointing. Really, I know the Eels played well, but it was disappointing. How would I put this? They've been on such a good hot streak recently, and I think versing a team where their form was not great. Yeah. I think that was a bit of that.
Came out a bit flat. Thought it was already done.
Yeah.
Maybe took a bit of the foot off the pedal that their closest challenger Dolphins lost.
Yep.
And now they've got a bit of work to do. They've got to beat the Rabbitohs.
Mm-hmm.
Also, they've got the Storm next, I think.
Yeah.
So assuming they lose to the Storm, then they'll have the Rabbitohs, which will be fired up to try and kick them out of the finals. If Dolphins win, it's still a few things that have to happen for them not to make the finals.
Yeah, finals. The finals run is in full effect. I thought it was going to be a bit more drab, but things have become a bit more spicy. We're starting to see a few fun things happen. So really looking forward to the next few weeks. Going to be paying very close attention because anything can go here, and even with a couple of shock losses, the top 4 might shuffle a bit as well. I don't think we expect it to, but it's still. There's everything's still possible, which is good to know.
Yeah, I mean it's good. That's what I was talking about with Will last week. I was saying, AFL is the only one with like a good finals race. NRL doesn't, but this Roosters really opened it up.
Shaking it a bit.
Broncos did their
they did their job. Yeah.
They came in. They beat the Knights comfortably and sent Adam O'Brien on his way.
This was I'm not sure how much of this match you got to watch. This was a tough watch.
Yeah.
For a little bit, The Knights looked okay.
Yeah.
But then the wheels fell off, and I remember near the end, I think it was the last 20. It's just like they gave up. There was one try which was so soft. It was just the Broncos were just feeding it through the middle, and they were just running through, and it was just difficult to see. The Knights weren't taking advantage of their sets. They had actually several sets inside the Broncos 20, and it was rough to see because you just knew it. All love to my boys that love the Knights. It's good faith of you, but you just knew as soon as they had the ball in their hand, they're gonna fuck it up somehow.
They deserve better. The fans, they've been turning up every week. Adam O'Brien called them out earlier in the year, which is probably part of the sort of downfall of him. He had one thing going for him, which is the fans like support, and then it's calling out your own fans. Yes, they booed. But there was a reason to boo. These are not a set of fans that readily boo.
Yeah.
And they booed at halftime when there was an awful performance, which ended up turning around and winning that match, actually.
Yeah.
But this is the sort of death knell. I don't know. I'm assuming he would have probably been sacked anyway.
Yeah.
But the Knights have made a sacking of him, and it's quite a costly sacking. They have to pay him out at least 12 months.
Yeah.
I think there's some settlements.
Is anyone have any idea what the cost is?
So it'd be a year. Yeah, what as in how much he was earning?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Unnecessary amount, to put it that way.
An interesting thing here. Actually, I was reading this thing. So he was supposed to be paid out 18 months, right? And then there's been an agreement for 12 months, right? And I've been racking my brain reading that, and I was like, why? What's the incentive for him? Why can't he just say, I want 18? The coach that's rumored to come in is Blake Green. And he's Isaac Moses' client. So you put 2 and 2 together, maybe there's a bonus from Moses to O'Brien, and then Blake Green comes in.
Look, we'll see what develops.
Yeah.
Watch this space.
That's a
Big
theory.
things coming, if you want to call it that.
Blake Green is the attacking coach right now for Knights. Is there any attack happening?
I would not say so.
So the whole thing is just
it's difficult.
I was reading on Reddit. People are like, is Blake Green being white anting? Adam O'Brien. So basically, is in like tanking his job to make sure Adam O'Brien looks bad. Well, there's good evidence. That's a conspiracy theory which has some weight.
If he has done it, I have to say, stellar job.
Well played.
Yeah, absolutely.
So surely there's better. I don't know. It is quite a. If people are sort of putting that link with the Moses clients, they have some point. I mean, really, there's better coaches out there than more credential coaches than Blake Green right now. Blake Green hasn't had much assistant coach experience either. He was a trainer for Newcastle like 2 years ago. So we'll see how that works. I mean, maybe come to this pod in a couple of years and he'll be one of the like breakout coaches of the year.
Yeah,
so
who knows?
Good luck to him. We'll see how that goes.
Absolutely. I know we do have the Warriors who played on Saturday as well.
Yes.
I don't think we had any notes for that. Should we quickly get it up?
Warriors played the Titans.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Warriors won comfortably.
So Titans and Dez goes out on his way as well. A couple of coaches going out. Josh Hannay, I think, is almost confirmed or about to be that he comes in. I don't watch much of this, but I think Titans are still fighting, but they still lack that probably defense aspect.
It's just you don't know where they're going with it, and I'm sure Will and Mitch can give a lot of better insight, but it's just so deflating sometimes to see the Knights, the Titans. You want to see something come of them. You want to see them building, but it's just like
Titans have more going for them, I think, than the Knights. Even though I think Titans might be below them in the ladder, but there's more like prospects, young players that I think have more attacking potential. They can I think they probably have more cap space as well. Because Knights are giving half it to Ponga and Saifiti brothers and everything. So Titans get a long-term vision with a new coach. I think they can come back pretty quickly. Knights, I think, is something that'll take a bit longer to repair.
Yeah.
Warriors needed this win. They again are looking a bit scratchy against bottomish teams. They're the team everyone will want to play in the finals.
Yeah, I'd say so.
They haven't looked the same team since Metcalf got injured.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll be there in the finals. They've done well to make the finals in the whole after having some injuries. But I think they'll be a straight out.
I think we need Will to start calling out the Warriors again to pick up their form. So keep that in mind, Will, for next week. Talk some shit if you want some Warriors. If you want the Warriors to do well again.
Up the Waz. Up the Waz. Everyone loves the Waz, but I don't think this is the year.
I don't think so either.
But good on them to making the top.
They are fourth right now, but with that Panthers loss, which we expected them to sneak in. They're sitting at fourth, and they might keep it. Depending on how the next few rounds go.
Yeah.
Last match of the round, the Cowboys and the Tigers.
It was a great game.
It was honestly pretty good.
I was watching Freo Western Bulldogs, the match to decide the AFL final series, but. Cowboys and Tigers, close game. Tigers were ahead. The Cowboys came back.
Cowboys look good. They look like the team which we expected them to be. They've got quality players.
Yeah.
And they were expected to be a finals team, and they were playing some good footy. But there was a bit of brilliance from a few of the Tigers boys. Blue Eye stepped up. He looked to actually have a convincing game.
Yeah.
Running the offense, and I think that was nice to see.
Yeah.
It was a good game. It could have gone either way, but that's the way it goes. Cowboys got up.
Yeah.
And that's all I can really say about. I guess you could say that match, unless you wanted to add anything onto it.
I mean, again, probably inconsequential match in general in terms of the table. But both teams that have pretty. I think Tigers will be happier than their season than the Cowboys.
Yeah.
There's a lot to like about the Tigers. Cowboys have been a bit of a disappointment. I think, like the Seagulls, really, if you had a teams in form that could be like right now. Cowboys are probably there. Eels are probably there.
Yeah.
That you'd probably say are some of the best teams in the comp right now. So that means for Cowboys not to even make the finals, I think Peyton has one more year to really prove himself.
Yeah.
Again, he obviously made the grand final with them, but they need to have results next year. Otherwise, he's probably on the chopping block as well.
Unfortunately, so I'd say so.
But so interesting round.
Yeah. What's our tips for the next week?
The tips for the next week. Well, Bulldogs and Panthers are pretty straightforward one now.
I wonder.
It's a Panthers reserve team. I think it'll be like closer than people think. I think people are talking about 50-point blowouts and that kind of stuff. I don't think so.
Panthers have a lot on the sheds.
Yeah.
And we normally see, every time someone leaves, they just pump out someone new, and fills the spot.
It'll be an interesting one to watch. See some of these juniors or New South Wales Cup players that you don't get to see.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm saying, I guess we both go.
I think we're both going the doggies here, but less than everyone expects it to be.
Next one is interesting: Warriors and Eels. I think.
I'm going to say the Warriors on this.
Yeah, Warriors at home.
Yeah,
I think we'll still go Warriors. Eels have been playing very well. I wouldn't be surprised to see an Eels upset, but I think Warriors.
I think they've
got more to play for.
Yeah, they got a bit to lose here, so I think they'll really be trying. Really bring some strength in the squad.
Next one is, I guess, hard for you to pick, being a Roosters fan.
Look, I know what the sensible choice is here. Obviously, you got to choose the Storm over the Roosters.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Any difference for you?
No. But it's another one I could smell a potential upset if the Roosters get a bit of momentum. They have the players to sort of fire up play. They probably have more to play for than the Storm.
Yeah. I mean, look, they like the big games. And they've been playing, regardless, excluding, I should say, last week. Yeah. They like the big games. So, they step up for when they need to.
Yeah.
The Raiders and the Tigers.
Yeah, I think it should be the Raiders, really.
I think you can add on first if you want to. Otherwise, I'll happily add on.
Yeah.
Look, the Tigers, still want to play hard, but the Raiders, I think they want to lock in that minor premiership. I think, they might not bring the 100% squad out, but it might be 90-95% squad, enough to seal the deal and really lock in that minor premiership. Just because the Storm are still sniffing around.
Yeah.
It's only a 2-point difference, and Storm's aggregate are far better. So. That's the thing. If they lose one, they've lost first place, unless a bit of luck goes their way.
Yeah, can't disagree. I think they probably got a bit more to play for.
Mhm.
West Tigers will chop, and it probably will be a blowout, but I think it'll be a
Pretty convincing, I'd say.
maybe a 12, 16 point win.
Mhm.
Dragons, Seagulls. I think now that they've sort of got their form back.
Yeah, and I think after, unfortunately, that crushing defeat last week, it's hard to see a team bounce back that quickly, and especially when they don't have much to play for. So I'm taking the Seagulls on this as well.
Yeah. Again, and now we have another team with nothing to play for versus a team that is back in form. Broncos against the Cowboys.
I'm actually going to go for a bit of a surprise pick here. After seeing, the way the Cowboys played, I know they don't have much or anything at all to play for, but seeing their fine form, I guess you could say,
they're always up for the Broncos game.
Yeah, absolutely. Big game players.
Yeah.
They do like versing their Queensland brothers.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for it's a bit of a roughy pick, but I think the Cowboys might surprise us. Funny things happen in the finals run.
Yeah, rematch of the greatest grand final of all time, which is always a good one. Sharks Knights.
I think this one's a bit straightforward. I think
should be quite comfortable.
Yeah, I think the Sharkies are looking to up the aggregate a bit more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and finally we have the Dolphins and the Titans. This one's a bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
Titans, sitting pretty at the bottom of the ladder, ready to lick that wooden spoon, I should say. Dolphins have a bit to play for. I think they're going to play hard. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair from both sides. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But we know the Dolphins, do like the high scores, and I think this might be one of the opportunities for it.
Yeah, I think they win pretty comfortably in the end. They've now, because of the Roosters losing, they need to win this game and win comfortably.
Yeah.
So that's all the probably the NRL wrap up.
I'd say so.
Which leaves us open for a few other topics.
A few other. What would you like to cover first?
Well, I think you had a point that you were telling us before about Taylor Swift.
Look, I was going to save it for the end, but I'm going to talk some shit right now. So listen up, buckaroos. I'm a big fan of social media presence with sports. It's a really good way to involve the fans, involve the youngins, to really get into it. And I'm all for having celebrities involved in. A dumb fucking thing happened today, and I was very mad about it. But maybe it was just me. A wonderful sports page by the name of Alpine F1. For those who don't follow motorsports, it is an official team. The Renault team, if in a different language, I guess you could say. They decided to upload a story on Instagram. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. Just might be a cool picture of one of the boys, one of the cars. And it was just reposting that, congratulating Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce for being engaged. And my first response was, what the fuck? I understand, it feels like the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs, yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that because, there's linkage, or if for some reason Taylor Swift was sponsoring or had some sort of involvement with the team.
That's completely unrelated.
It was so unnecessary. So it comes back to, I'm all for social media admins, going about their Gen Z type shit.
You see it a lot nowadays.
Well,
actually.
Yeah. You can definitely tell that a lot of the sports admins are Gen Zers, and really trying to appeal to it. But this was fucking stupid. I think this was ridiculous. What's it got to do with it? That's how I feel.
Look, I think it shows what Alpine season has been in general. Absolute train wreck of a season. They're looking to talk about anything other than their own performance. For those that don't follow, Alpine, French-based manufacturer in F1. They've been down the bottom this year.
Rubbish.
Yeah, there have been issues with their drivers. They had an Aussie driver. They gave him the boot after like 4 rounds.
Yeah.
That's why we're resorted to talking about Taylor Swift.
That's like the most exciting. I mean, it is a month break in the motorsports.
So they're running out of content.
Yeah,
but I'm so keen for the F1 to get back. And
as am I.
Yeah. So if anyone hasn't been following it, I'd recommend getting into it for the last second half of the season,
especially
because
if you want to put your patriotic hats on, there's a fellow Aussie, I should say, that's leading the charge, leading the constructors, and it's going to get pretty tight and pretty close. If you like watching cars make noise and go around laps, and I guess also if you like seeing the bits of debris showering everywhere at times, it's
Oscar Piastri is a big draw card. I mean, he's probably not the most like charismatic guy. but he's like
I think too many people are trying to be charismatic nowadays.
doesn't need to be. Yeah, he just does his job, gets the job done, and he's still leading the championship. That'd be amazing to see an Aussie win the
absolutely. Should we get into the AFL just for a little bit, just before?
Yeah. So AFL. I've been loving this season. Like I'm really getting more into it. I think, and I see a bit of difference. When I watch like AFL 360 on Fox versus when I watch NRL 360 on Fox. AFL 360, we're talking setups. We're talking like kick-ins and whether we're using the which side of the field we're using. Like what are we doing at stoppages and tools and all these tactics. NRL is just complete the six, complete the set of six. There's not as much tactics. AFL. There's a lot more tactical acumen.
It is. Look,
and stats.
AFL's I understand, for the Sydney siders, it's seen as more of a pansy sport. I wouldn't say that's the case. I can understand when it's not as rough and tumble at times, but you do see the odd free hook into someone's face. It has been quite an exciting year. Not for me, not for my beloved Port Adelaide. It's been fucking misery, and it's been rough. But for a lot of fans, it's been a good year. I do actually want to bring up one thing, which you managed to sneak in last week, I believe. About the Gold Coast Suns. They're crashing out. You thought they were going to make it.
So I was about to mention that for your Port Adelaide. They spoiled a bit of the party. They beat the Suns in the final match for their hero Travis Boak, final match for the coach. So they beat the Suns. So as of right now, actually, they're playing. Suns are playing the Essendon Bombers tonight in 5 minutes, I think. So the winner. Oh, if not the winner, if Suns win, they are in the 8th. If they lose, then Bulldogs get into the 8th. But Essendon have been garbage this year. They started well, but then literally their whole squad pretty much injured. So Suns are $1.04. If you want free money, there's money.
Just while you're saying that, you win some, you lose more.
But here, if you bet on the Suns, you will win. But it'd be an amazing meme if they lose. But I feel sorry for the Bulldogs. So basically, the Bulldogs. They will end up coming 9th when the Suns win, but they've had to train for the last 3 days. The only reason this match is on a Wednesday is because Gold Coast Essendon was supposed to be second round of the season, but there was the Gold Coast cyclone or something. So that got postponed to now. So we've got Bulldogs training for 3 days, knowing they're not going to play. You can't have Mad Monday. So, but yeah, it's been an intense. It's a very open. So basically, 9 top quality teams. The 9th team, which will probably be the Bulldogs, will go out with 60 points, and it's 4 points for a win. So they've won with the buys as well. They've won 14 games, and to not make the finals with a 14-8, what are we, like 14-9 record? Is pretty insane.
It is. It's been very heavily competitive for some, also very pathetic for others.
West Coast with 1 win for the whole season. Get a bit of the spread in AFL because teams are probably rebuilding properly. NRL probably teams don't go that full rebuild. But you have in AFL the teams that are trying, the teams that are full bringing in youngsters. So you have that extra dynamic too. Last year I was going to some of the Swans finals. Obviously not this year. The Swans didn't make it. But it'll be interesting to see how the GWS Giants go.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, all the love for the Western boys, or the Western Sydney, I should say, Western Sydney boys. Hopefully, wishing a lot of success on them. But yeah, we'll absolutely see where it goes. Exciting finals run happening in the AFL as well. Lots of good sports happening. It's been. Do you mind if I do a tangent onto the cricket from here? Was there anything you wanted to add?
No, I'm always down to talk about cricket.
We'll keep it short and sweet. But Australia have been playing. I know you addressed last week about playing in the 2020s up in Darwin and the random commentary. They played some one-dayers, they lost some one-dayers, and then they won a one-dayer in fucking magnificent fashion.
Smashed them,
But unfortunately, a big win still doesn't overcome the loss.
Still a series loss. It's a pretty disappointing series loss.
Absolutely.
Show some holes in the team. Show that the depth of the bowling is quite down after Cummins Stark. Hazel's probably in one-day cricket, not enough to lead an attack.
No, not to lead. He's a fantastic support bowler, if that's what you want to call it. But we're missing a bit of an X factor, which a lot of other teams bring.
Yeah.
And we're really depending on someone just to step up and take the big boy role for that match. I believe you addressed last week where they're feeling a bit West Indies-esque, where we don't really have that one solid player. We've got players that have the glimpses of brilliance, and don't get me wrong, that becomes game winners. But what happens if no one shows that glimpse of brilliance?
Yeah, like that anchor sort of. That's why you miss Smith a lot, and especially with Labuschagne not really performing consistently.
Yeah.
But I mean, you see what happens when it all comes off. Like in the last match, they get 430.
Yeah.
But this is a team I think right now they'll either score 430 or they'll score 180.
Yeah.
So you need to maybe have some kind of anchor in the middle to at least level it out at 320s.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt there, but I actually got a question about Labuschagne.
Yeah.
That last match. So just to give context, just while I'll go into it. First match, Australia lost.
Yeah.
Second match, lost. Do you remember the scores by any chance?
They were chasing 290, I think, or
Yes.
270, 280, and they got all out for 190.
Yeah, 190. It was just
They were
kept
looking
crumbling.
all right for a while, and then English was mainly the English show.
Yeah,
88.
yeah. And the last match, Aussies decided to break their streak, bat first, and Head and Marsh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marsh put on 100 each.
Yeah.
And
then
Cam Green came in, put on 100, and minus, you think it'd be a bit filthy, Well, he's been batting consistently at 4, and then once Marsh and Head were out, Kerry came in, and on an absolute, I'm assuming it's a road unless, Australia just played their
I think it was
hearts
a
out.
road, but I think it was hard to bet on the lights.
Yes,
because
I
the ball
think
was
so too.
moving.
Yeah.
So,
So I don't know if Minus might be a bit filthy with that, knowing that he had a ideally a good chance to show he can still bat.
Yeah.
But look, that's what happens.
That's fair. You have a fluid lineup. I mean, I think you should be understanding of that. I think you see a lot of teams do that. That's why you can have your anchor there. If you have enough depth in the bowling, that can slide down if you maybe have a guy who's number 3 if you lose early wickets, or
Absolutely.
number 4. And if you get a good platform, he drops down to 8th.
Absolutely. I mean, I still think it was the right choice to make in the
Yeah.
game scenario. It's just unfortunate for Labuschagne that his spot is up in the air right now, and it just did not benefit him at all.
Yeah.
Look, apart from that, some standouts in the South African side. Maharaj bowling wonderfully.
He's a top class bowler.
Top class bowler. He's always been there.
Yeah.
And he's always shown when he needed to, but he really stepped up in that
He's
match.
taking a bit of a leadership role, leading that attack now. Along with some of these young quicks as well.
Yeah, I mean, having my own Brevis for a while, I thought he's a fun, exciting player.
Yeah, you called Brevis, I think. He was known in Mumbai, but then he sort of plateaued a bit, and you highlighted him as a good player to watch in Chennai.
Yeah,
when Chennai picked him up.
Yeah, it was a very, very ordinary Chennai team. Sorry, Will, more IPL talk.
Yeah.
So we won't stay too long, otherwise we're going to get axed from the show completely. But it was a very miserable season for the Chennai in the IPL, but he was one shining light. He batted fantastically, and I was wondering how I was going to translate it to the international stage. And honestly, he's done it pretty well. It really is hit or miss for him, but he's more commonly hitting, and you're seeing some spectacular, game shifting or changing innings, if you want to say, by him.
Yeah.
So it's been fun to see. There's been some. It's good to see South Africa, make country sweat again. There was a miserable time, or miserable period where they just seemed just so off. But it's nice to see.
They're really looking up in all formats.
Absolutely,
I think, Test champions, I think, should have been 2020 champions, and they're looking like they're building a pretty good one-day side as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
So lots to like about South Africa going forward. They got some guys to come back into that team as well, like David Miller. And Rabada, I think, missed the whole one-day series.
Yeah. It wasn't even a full strength South African side, and they still put us to the sword at home.
Yeah.
Which is something we take a lot of pride in here in Australia. So. We shouldn't dismiss that loss so lightly. It's still a bit of a warning sign, that we're vulnerable here. So
there's work to be done for the next World Cup. It's time, but definitely work to be done in terms of the next one.
Yeah, Australia are big game players. They love the World Cups generally. But I agree. Lots of work to be done. Yeah.
But okay, so just before we go, do you want to try the drink of the week?
Absolutely, please get it out for me. So we have VJ's walking to the fridge right now because he's getting a crisp beer for us. It has a lovely can. You might have to have a look at the can just before. It's literally pineapple beer drink, Guang's. It is in. I'm not gonna say the wrong language in case I get it wrong. It is in some sort of Asian,
it's from China.
There we go. So
I'm assuming it's Mandarin.
Mandarin or Cantonese.
Yeah.
If we're wrong completely, don't blame us.
So my mate, shout out to Albert. He got me this from China. I'm not sure which city he went to Chongqing as well as Shanghai, and Shenzhen, which is pretty much like my trip. I had a trip similar to him in May. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I love China. It cops a bit of a bad rap, I think, from like maybe the US and things. But for me, it's got world-class infrastructure. Mm-hmm. You got history there. Mm-hmm. Easy to get around. Easy to use Alipay for everything. It's cashless. Great food.
I was going to say that's a very important part to the Rough Rigs community. The food is stellar and so versatile. In different regions, you get completely different things. I agree with you completely.
Every city has like a different sort of feel. So like obviously Japan is still Australia's sort of almost number one place to go to other than Bali.
The thinking man's Bali.
But I think I would very much recommend China as a sort of alternate option.
Keep that in mind, Rockford's community. So opening this can, it's actually fascinating. It's not your standard, tab can. It's kind of like a ring pull, and it's like a fascinating. What would you call that type of shape? It's like a cone.
Yeah.
Fascinating. Not something you see. So yeah. Yeah, that's all good. I think it's just a bit of a thing. I'll take that one if you want. It's a very light color. I'll say that. I'm gonna go heavy in the commentary because there's a couple of times where I've seen the boys do a drink and I'm listening to it because I'm a Spotify listener because I'm normally driving, so it's not ideal to watch. So they're talking about the drink, and I'm thinking, what is it? And sometimes I don't know until they bring it up later, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's a bit questionable, but yeah. Anyway, smell. Give it a smell. It
smells nice.
It smells like pineapple. All right, you want to give it a go?
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
Pretty nice.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
If you said this was a beer to me, I would not believe you. It's got the faintest, I'd say, like suggestion of beer. It's like honestly, have you ever had pineapple Fanta?
Yeah. I think this is better than pineapple Fanta.
I think it is too. And if this is genuinely alcoholic, I am pleasantly surprised.
I don't know the alcohol content.
Let me give this another sip. Because it is very fragrant. It's very on the nose. Yeah, have a look. A bright yellow can with a giant ass pineapple.
Guang's something.
Pineapple beer drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. That's wonderful. I've got to take account into it being a beer as well. So this might skew my rating in a better way. What would you give this?
I'm going to give it a 9.
Yeah, I was thinking a 9. A 9 too. It's so, especially for a beer, it's so hidden and so delicious. Oh, I could drink plenty of that.
Damn, I didn't expect this to be that good.
That was very, very lovely. Wow. Anything else you want to add on before we're about to cool it?
I think that was a good way to finish the show.
I think that was a good one. Yeah.
I'm off to some pickleball.
Pickleball,
I'll when I'm back on the show, I'll let you guys know how it is. I've played pretty much all racket sports except I haven't got into pickleball yet, but I'm going to Auburn to play some pickleball.
Wonderful.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Awesome.
But yeah. We'll see if the other guys are back next week. Otherwise, we'll have another brown week.
If not, we'll just keep adding more diversity. Maybe we've got to shake it up again. Maybe we've got to start adding, the South Americans, African people from Africa, North Asia. We'll start being the diversity crew. But we'll see it back.
Speaking of, actually, we forgot to give a shout out to the inclusion crew.
That's a very good point.
This shout out seems to be coming at different points of the show every week. We need to probably set the time to be doing this. Go to inclusioncrew.com.au.
if you need any assistance with any of your needs, if you are affected by any form of disability,
or you have family or friends that you want to refer,
absolutely, you should absolutely check them out. They're able to assist in plenty of different ways. If you need them for your shopping, for care, for community service, they're more than happy to help.
Yeah.
And I know them. Wonderful wonderful person.
Yeah.
Super caring, super invested. Yeah, not much will go wrong there.
Yeah. Great bunch of guys there. Apologies to them for leaving to the end of the show.
That's all right. It works well with a drink.
Yeah, but cheers to them, and we'll see you guys next week.
Absolutely, yeah. See you guys next time, and we'll see if the OG crew are back.
Yeah.